Okay, ladies and gents, welcome to the stream today. And I have got to bring you up to date on what has been happening in the last 24 hours. It's pretty unbelievable. Time is almost up. Goodness me. We've got to go through all of that. Now, real quick before we do that, today is the very last day. You've got 24 hours left on the courses. The two courses are stock market course and the money psychology. 24 hours left. The new course will still be on sale for a little longer, but that is it. And by the way, if you don't know, if you go into the description of the course below, you can see the bundles and you can see really low costs. And also, if you're not sure which one is right for you, it will show you here. Right, now let's get into all of this craziness. This just came out from the Times. And this is how it started. So this was yesterday, okay? 5 p.m. BST on the 16th of August. The US blocks Ukraine from firing British missiles into Russia. Because of course there's all the tanks and there's all the other weapons that's being used in Kursk at the moment. And obviously Putin is really annoyed because he said that the British weapons have enabled Ukraine to penetrate so hard into Russia. So this is how it started. And in fact, let's go over this article real quick because it will give context to what has just happened today. And this has really, I believe, changed the game now between Russia and Ukraine. Then we'll talk a little bit about Israel and a couple of others because this has really ramped up. Honestly, I just can't believe how fast this has happened. Washington is effectively blocking Britain from allowing Kyiv to fire Storm Shadow missiles inside Russia, amid fears in the Biden admin of an escalation. So this is what they said, okay? As pressure grows, you'll see how ironic this is in a minute. As pressure grows on the West to relax its rules around the use of long-range weapons, Britain is awaiting US approval, okay, before it gives the Ukrainians the green light. So I guess US have to give the green light to all of Europe. However, the request went into the system more than a month ago. So this is interesting. Britain a month ago wanted to allow Ukraine to use these storm shadows in Russia, but they're still awaiting a response. Okay, so it is understood that although the UK wants to give Ukraine the freedom to do what they want with long-range weapons, it requires consensus from allies, including the US, France, and a third undisclosed NATO country. Why it's undisclosed, I'm not sure. Storm shadows can fire at targets more than 155 miles away and could be used to hit military bases deeper inside Russia that have been crucial for Moscow's war effort inside Ukraine. Okay, so this is what it's... we got a bit more. Zelensky repeatedly requested permission to use American-donated ATACMS and the British Storm Shadows to strike targets within Russia, but each time has been rebuffed over fears it could lead to an escalation in the conflict. So they actually said this. They knew it would lead to an escalation, right? Okay, now let's move on to what has happened today. Russia-Ukraine war. Key bridges have just been destroyed in Kursk as Ukraine leaves trail of destruction as it happens. In fact, I'd say as NATO leaves a trail of destruction, because we know that it wasn't Ukraine that's used what's actually just happened. It's still ongoing, so this is a moving target at the moment. But here's the summary. Moscow has said, so this is a claim, it's not verified yet, but I've been reading the translation. It's quite interesting why they say this. So Moscow has said US missiles were likely used to destroy a bridge in Kursk. Yesterday, 2 key bridges were destroyed in the region of the same river. So what actually happened was Russia was bringing in all their reinforcements to the area where the Ukrainian troops are, and these bridges were destroyed. So Putin or his advisors are saying that they're almost certain these were US missiles because of the accuracy, and there's a whole thing. You've got to look over the transcript to understand it all. But Zelensky said his forces were strengthening their positions in Russia's Kursk region, where Kyiv has been mounting a major ground offensive. And by the way, I did, for those of you that sent me all the links and all the information, and Scott Ritter and all these other people, I have reviewed it all. I spent probably 2 or 3 hours watching all the videos. And it's not how some people, I don't know if people are trying to troll me, all the Ukrainians were destroyed, there's none left. That's actually not what Scott Ritter or any of these other analysts have actually said. So I have reviewed it all. I've watched all the footage. I've listened to what they said. And it is pretty much what Putin said when he was in that really angry. You don't see him angry very often. He was really angry in that interview. And he said, yeah, our enemy, as he's talking about Ukraine, they took us by a surprise attack. They got deeper than expected. They've started to bed in. But he basically said it doesn't make any difference because we're going to destroy all of them. So that's actually what was originally said. I've reviewed everything and it's still sort of, that's how it's looking. So this is where we're at as of today. On Saturday, Russia's defense ministry accused Ukraine of planning to attack the Kursk nuclear plant as well, and then blame this provocation on Moscow, saying, so basically, I know that's a bit of a word sandwich there, but Russia's saying that Ukraine planned to attack the nuclear plant, cause a nuclear incident, and then say it was Russia that did it to themselves, is what the claims are coming out. And again, you've got propaganda on both sides. This is warfare. Reporters from AP said that on a trip through Kursk, organized by the Ukrainian government, so obviously they took them to the key areas. This is not going to be unbiased either. They witnessed a trail of destruction. Germany, this is another thing that's come out, the second largest contributor of aid to Ukraine, plans to halve its military aid, so specifically military, to Kyiv in 2025. So this is honestly, it goes on and on and on. There's a lot going on. But I want to move on to this Telegraph article. Israel expects the UK to join potential attack on Iran. Whenever they say potential, it means just remove that word. We'll take that out. Israel expects the UK to join this attack on Iran. And I'm surprised that they're really pushing this line at the moment, considering they're trying to get this peace agreement in place and Iran hasn't retaliated either. Remember that they haven't retaliated to what happened on their soil. So I'm surprised that Israel, there's a lot of these articles coming out at the moment, and I'm surprised that they are saying this because it's quite inflammatory. I don't know. I don't know why they're saying it. It's very unusual. But look at this guy's face. This was the image. Oh yeah, France, Britain. We're looking forward to this and everything. Why would you be looking forward to it? Don't look forward to these things. Israel said that it expects the UK to join in attacking significant targets in Iran if the regime follows through on its threats of an assault on Israeli territory. So the Foreign Secretary David Lammy, he was the guy on the left, visited Jerusalem on Friday to meet his French and Israeli counterparts. They said that if Iran attacked Israel, we expect the coalition to join Israel not only in defense but also in striking significant targets in Iran. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the UK getting involved in this regional conflict? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Israel will not be able to refrain from responding forcefully to any harm against it, Mr. Katz said. He added that if Iran did not stop its aggression, it would pay a price soon. He also called it a dangerous moment for the Middle East and warned that the risk of the situation spiraling out of control was rising. And remember, we've got all these announcements for citizens to leave the region, British, American, European citizens. Any Iranian attack would have devastating consequences for the region, he added. He also said he was hopeful Israel and Hamas were on the cusp of a deal as talks in Doha wrapped up on Friday. So let's hope this is what happens. We'll keep our fingers crossed and pray for this to happen. Qatar, Egypt, and the US issued a joint statement afterwards in which they described the negotiations as serious and constructive. So this is where we got to. Now, I've pulled up a load of things that I think I want to show you to connect a lot of dots here. So everybody's saying that they want peace, right? But then you look at all the Defense Journal articles, and this is every single day, by the way. Israel embarks on $20 billion shopping spree for American weapons. This includes 50 F-151 Alpha fighter jets, IA Alpha jets, upgrades for 25 of their F-15IL aircraft, all these missiles, 50,000 mortar cartridges, 32,000 tank shells. That sounds like they are preparing for something to me. This is 18.8 billion contract for these. And who's getting the contract? Boeing, of course. That's a surprise that Boeing is getting all these contracts. Then there's a separate $100 million deal, and this is for medium-range air-to-air missiles. So there's a lot going on here. UK, US, and Australia are trialing these AI-enabled killer drones as well. This is what we talked about when Ukraine-Russia kicked off. And I said this is what there's going to happen. There's going to be a big testing field for all this. So this is what we're seeing. It's all being tested now. And they said this is the first real-time military exercise where autonomy and AI were integrated into UAV operations. Hopefully this time around, they've made sure that the AI didn't have control, because you remember what happened last time? Goodness me, the AI went crazy. Luckily it was a simulation, or all of the military base would have been blown up. Goodness. So this exercise demonstrated the use of AI systems to reduce the time required to identify enemy targets and to operate with lower risks to personnel. Poland is to buy, oh, what a surprise, Boeing again. 96 Apache helicopters from Boeing in preparation for what is coming. Poland are really preparing at the moment, as is, well, in fact, let's talk about Croatia first. Here's from The Independent. Croatia is reintroducing compulsory military draft as regional tensions soar. So this is going to be from January 1st next year. The move comes amid heightened tensions in Europe. This is all we're seeing now. It's heightened tensions in Europe. It tells us what's coming, ladies and gents. This decision marks a return to conscription, which was suspended in 2008 when they shifted to a volunteer-based system. So they're U-turning on that now. The modernization and equipment of the armed forces is proceeding as planned and in accordance with the agreement with our allies and the NATO leadership. Okay, Minister said, added there will be no savings of funds in this area. Other countries in Europe are considering similar measures or have reinstated mandatory military service in response to heightened regional tensions. I actually think this is going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to be doing mandatory military service before long. Last year, Latvia reinstated military conscription. Serbia also is mulling to reactivate conscription. The UK has just accelerated hypersonic missile developments with a do you see where we're going with all of this? A £1 billion plan. They want to keep pace with China, Russia, and the US. They want to have this operational by, of course, 2030. And then we've just had this. Irish troops escape suspected Israeli strike in Lebanon. Irish peacemakers, so you've got military Irish soldiers there. Irish peacekeepers in South Lebanon narrowly avoided injury after their convoy was caught in what was believed to be an airstrike, according to reports. Gosh, goodness me. I blasted it all out. I wanted to get this one done within 15 minutes. You can see where we're going. This is just escalation, escalation, escalation. It really is. I don't see this backtracking. I talked about this the other day, all these people saying, no, Neil, I don't know what you're seeing. You're doom and gloom. This isn't going to keep going towards warfare. This will all stop soon. We'll go back to normal. Ladies and gents, this is not how these things work. You look at the patterns and you look at the warfare patterns, you listen to the analysts. This is following similar patterns of larger scale conflicts we've seen before. So yeah, I know a lot of people want to bury their head in the sands and ignore this stuff. But again, you've got to stay up to date on what's going on. Otherwise, one day there's going to be an announcement, conscription is going to be something like that. And people are not going to have their plans in place. All right, well, just a reminder then, last 24 hours on the 2 programs. All the links are below. Have a look which one you think's right for you, or none at all, up to you. But last 24 hours, and then the prices go up on Monday. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of the weekend. I hope you got value out of the content this week, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care. God bless.